Okay, so I've already created my key points and now I'm almost done. I'm at my last step. So I know that my manager told me that in order for me to know whether my key points are aligned, I need to answer the question of whether I could answer the exit ticket using only those key points. So now I'm going to put myself in the mind frame of, my eighth grade students that won't know this information until I teach it to them. And I'm going to see if I would be able to ace this exit ticket using the key points I created. So I'm going to start with the first equation. The first thing I need to do is check if there's distribution. I do not see parentheses. So I am going to move on to step two, which is to combine like terms. I don't remember what like terms are, but if I look at my notes from my teacher and the key points, I see that like terms have the same variable and exponent. So I can see here that I have a negative 7x and a negative 3x, which I can combine. So if I combine that, I get a negative 10x. And then I know that I need to just drop everything else down because I haven't made any changes. Now the third step is for me to move a variable. So I do have a variable on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move the negative 10. And I know that when I move something across, I have to apply the inverse operation. So the inverse of a negative is a positive 10x. So now I have 2 equals. Well, I know that I'm adding these together. So if I'm adding and they have different signs, then I'm going to subtract and take the sign of the number with the larger absolute value. So I'm going to subtract 10 and 8, which is 2. The largest absolute value between an 8 and a 10 is a 10. So this is a positive 2. So this is a 2x. And then I drop down my minus 8. Now I'm going to either add or subtract. So I see here that I have a minus sign, so I have to do the opposite, which is adding 8. So now I know that negative 8 and positive 8 is a 0, and then 8 and 2 is a 10, and that's equal to 2x. So now I know the final step and the key point is to multiply or divide, and again I have to do the opposite. So here when I have a 2 and an x next to each other, that's being multiplied. So I know the opposite is to divide 2. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. So far those key points have worked out for the first one. Let me see if they work for the second question that I have on the exit ticket. So again, the first thing I'm going to check is that distribution. And here I do have those parentheses, so I am going to distribute. Now I'm going to combine like terms. I see that I have a negative 28 and a negative 1, and these are not alike because they do not have the same variable. So I'm going to combine only these two. So negative 28 minus 1 is negative 29. I'm going to drop everything else down. And now I need to move my variables to one side of the equal sign. So I have a 35a and I have a negative 8a. I'm going to move that negative 8a, and when I move it, I know that I need to apply the inverse. So I'm going to add 8a to both sides. These will zero out. And then on this side, I have 35a plus 8a, which gives me 43a. And everything else drops down again. Now I'm at the fourth step. I need to add or subtract. So here I'm subtracting 29, and I know that I need to apply an inverse operation. So I know that I'm going to do the opposite of subtraction, which is addition. Negative 29 plus 29 is going to zero out, And now I have 43a is equal to 14 plus 29 is 43. My final step is to multiply or divide. Here I'm multiplying 43 and a, so I have to do the opposite, which is dividing. And then I know that 43 divided by 43 gives me 1. So it does look like these key points are aligned to the exit ticket.